the throw-in for the Kilo man. Ball is thrown up. Mickey Quinn knocks it down. They get it. Kilo have it back once more. That's good play from Paddy Kiernan. Paddy yet to get into this game, but just under 10 minutes gone. Out to Mickey Quinn. He was deeper. Now he's back out around midfield. Plays it inside towards Daniel Mimna. Another man that likes to run at attacks. Another man that likes to kick. Another man that likes to score. And he gets his first score of the afternoon. Final whistle goes. Kilo are the county champions for 2023. Little bit of an anti-climax in the end. The referee brought it to its close exactly on 4 minutes. Didn't, as to say, give Tungish. In goals, Joe O'Brien, the converted forward, who has made some fine saves for Clongish in this championship, and indeed made a fine save in the early stages of the semi-final against Dromard. Full back line, Conor Smith, Gerard Moore and Conor Flynn. Half-backs, Josh Sorahan, Andrew Flynn and Darren Quinn. Midfield, Ronan Sweeney, as Pádraig mentioned, the club captain, and Conor Shields. Half-forward line, Matthew Flynn, Jack Duggan and Christopher Gordon. And the full forward line, Matthew Carey, David Barden and Michael Flynn. Manager of the Clongish team, of course, is Liam Belton. Let goals, Micheál Hughes. Full back line, Liam Hughes, Niall Farrelly and Evan Farrelly. Half-backs, Ryan Moffat, Darren Moffat and Colin Coyle. In midfield, Paddy Kiernan and Ronan Keogh. Half-forward line, Dennis McGoldrick, Gavin Farrelly and the captain, Cian Farrelly. And the full forward line, Daniel Mimna, Mark Hughes and Michael Quinn. And Pádraig, and of course the manager, Luke Dempsey. But Pádraig, as we look at that Kilo team, there's a huge amount of experience in it. You know, you have Mickey Quinn there, you have Daniel Mimna, Mark Hughes has experience as well, the McGoldricks, I know you mentioned it. You have the emerging talents like the Moffat brothers in the half-back line, and Paddy Kiernan playing great football in midfield. It's a big ask for Clongish. That's a very experienced Kilo team.
Look, as you say, vastly experienced. There's 6 of them there with 30 championship medals between them alone. I think a big thing for me, you know, the strength of the Kilo bench. You know, they've Éamon Keogh there, Ronan McGoldrick, Cian Dooner, 3 of the Morans, Jake Donnelly is back, among others who have played in the biggest stage. And I don't think that Clongish they certainly don't have that strength and depth. So I think by and large Clongish are going to have to get it done with what they have. Maybe 1 or 2 introductions. Kilo, as I say, that's the big difference.
Mickey Quinn out to midfield for the throw-in for the Kilo man. Ball is thrown up. Mickey Quinn knocks it down. Kilo get early possession. Ball spread towards captain Cian Farrelly, back inside towards Darren Moffat. Moffat doing very well. Mickey Quinn, however, almost contrived between them to give it away, and in the end Clongish have it back. Conor Shields playing it to Gerard Moore, bottled up, back to Andrew Flynn. One of the young guns on this Clongish team that a lot will be expected of at centre-back this afternoon. A big job for a young man at 6. Gets it back to his goalkeeper, Joe O'Brien, a man who needs no introduction to this Clongish team, having played for over 20 years out the field. This year he's in goals, plays the ball forward, nicely picked up by Carey. In fact, it's Flynn, Michael Flynn. Gets away from his man, plays it into Darren Quinn. He got a point like this on the run in the semi-final. Will he get another one? He has indeed. Great start, great movement, great interchange. Kilo looked nervous in possession. Clongish, the young guns, they didn't look nervous at all. Great score.
Yes,
Jack Duggan, his first taste of the action outside of the boot. What a ball inside. That's a super ball towards Davy Barden. Now Barden can do damage if he can run at this full back line. Still Davy Barden gets away from his man. The hand is up. He'll have the free. It'll be a free in. And
if they can make that pitch as big as possible, particularly when they have the ball, and make it as small as possible when they're out of possession, it will give them the greatest of chances.
Matthew Carey pops over his opening point of the day. Clongish go 2 points in front, well deserved too. Possession inside his own half. The centre back plays it on towards Ronan Sweeney. Sweeney, clever looking ball towards Davy Barden. Barden just can make those runs and get away from the fullback very easily. The fullback being Niall Farrelly, he's not an easy man to get possession from, but Barden has won everything so far. That's a great looking ball inside, and out comes Micheál Hughes, and under a bit of pressure the Kilo netminder gathers the ball. Kilo go on the attack once more. The Kilo captain outside of the boot, launching one forward, down towards Mickey Quinn. He's gone very deep in the opening minutes. Now Mickey Quinn a chance to run at the big number 9 for Clongish, Connor Shields, by Mark Hughes. And I think, you know, Pádraig, after 7-8 minutes of the action, Kilo will be happy. Clongish hit the ground running, but Kilo back within a point. Kilo have it back once more. That's good play from Paddy Kiernan. Paddy yet to get into this game, but just under 10 minutes gone. Out to Mickey Quinn. He was deeper. Now he's back out around midfield. Plays it inside towards Daniel Mimna. Another man that likes to run at attacks. Another man that likes to kick. Another man that likes to score. And he gets his first score of the afternoon. And you know those old steady heads, Mickey Quinn, Daniel Mimna combining on this occasion. Sides are level and Kilo all of a sudden. Here come Kilo. Chance, ball is played into Mark Hughes. He has a chance of a goal. Bad mistake from Joe O'Brien, but he has recovered extremely well. Jared Moore gets the ball back.
Risky, and he got caught, but they've got away with it.
Certainly have. Here come Clongish once more. Ball is played forward to Ronan Sweeney in towards Carey once more, but Carey's just not running on full energy so far this afternoon. To the minor championship this year for Kilo, but he's back in the senior final today, somewhat against the odds. People didn't think he'd make it, but he's here. He's a great player. Let's see what this afternoon brings for him. It's a shot from the number 12. Is a brilliant kick from Cian Farrelly. 3 points in quick succession. And Paddy Moran involved, the young minor. Pádraig, surprised to see him starting today, but another score for Kilo. Liam Hughes. Mickey Quinn. Mickey will run all day at Jared Moore, that's for sure. However, he's forced back out. Ball is played inside once more. Daniel Mimna. Mimna gets around his man just like he did in the semi-final. Back to Mickey Quinn. Mickey surely fouled, and the referee says he overcarries. And the man who's normally deadly accurate score from a little bit further out than would be customary. Carey looks up and kicks. Is that going to drop short? It is. It's held by Micheál Hughes. That's a wasted opportunity for Clongish. Jinx one way, then the other. Gives it a lovely ball inside towards Evan Farrelly, who looks up and shoots, and that's held under the post, but something happened. Moments. Plays it to Andrew Flynn, does well to sidestep the tackle. Plays a decent looking ball inside towards Davy Barden. Now there are no runners off the shoulder, but eventually one arriving is Christopher Gordon, who looks up and shoots, and Christopher Gordon gets a super point. And again, it's that steadying influence, that influence that Davy Barden is having on this game. Every ball that's kicked in, he's winning it, and he does the right thing. Ball is played forward by Josh Sorahan into the centre towards Connor Shields. He's fouled again.
Experienced team that we spoke about. So as you say, they're going to be very, very happy with their lot.
They certainly are, and Carey kicks and Carey scores. Another point for the minor. Although he's a minor in terms of age, he's not a minor in terms of stature. Certainly not. Certainly if you're not going at full tilt, it's not easy. Mark Hughes will step up, and Mark Hughes will kick the sides level, 4 points apiece. I think overall, on what we've seen in the first half, it's a fair reflection. It's now with Paddy Moran. Outside of the boot, plays one forward. Good looking ball towards Daniel Mimna. 2 minutes ago he was winning the ball out towards midfield. Now he's winning one at the corner forward position. Here's Paddy Moran. Moran is through. Plays it across. Must be, it is. It's a goal for Kilo. A goal for Kilo. Mark Hughes gets the finishing touch. Ball forward as quickly as possible towards David Barden. Ball is played into the centre towards Josh Sorahan. Sorahan still in possession. Nobody inside. The man inside is on the ground. That's Matthew Carey. Ball played towards Christopher Gordon, who looks up and shoots. That is a fantastic point. And all of a sudden, Pádraig Davis, it's amazing what a goal does for a game. It sparks Clongish into life as well. It's a 2-point game, much better second half. Duggan, another man with the potential to lift that trophy. Back to Andrew Flynn once more. Andrew Flynn plays the ball into the centre, a risky one, but it's a good one. Whoa, that's late. Referee says no foul. And so plenty of time left for Clongish to engineer something and keep themselves in the championship. Ball played back inside. Great ball towards Matthew Carey. He looks up, he shoots, and that's the Matthew Carey that we've come to expect in this championship. Lovely incisive run through the centre, knew exactly where he was going, received the ball in space.
Still looks restricted, but that'll definitely give us confidence the world of good.
Certainly will, but sometimes a hit like that can bring you into a game, and that seems to be what has happened in the case of Matthew Carey as we approach the 8th minute of the second half. Lovely turn from Colm Coyle. He's only on the field, plays it inside to Mark Hughes, who turns and shoots. Simple as you like. That's a goal and 3 points for Mark Hughes. We're looking for players of the match at this particular point, and Mark Hughes is coming up with the goods for Kilo Porrick from goal, and the man with 1-3 to his credit out of Kilo's 1-5 is looking to get his 4th point of the afternoon. That's a lovely kick from Mark Hughes. He really is deadly accurate, and if Matthew Carey can do it at one end of the field, there is no doubting, Porrick Davis, that this man Mark Hughes has really announced his arrival. Way out on the right hand side, Carey waiting inside with a number of Clonkish defenders. And let's see what Clonkish can do with this one. That's a very fine kick indeed. It's gone over. It's gone over. Ball this afternoon for Kilo. Plays it to Mickey Quinn. Quinn in possession. Plays it short. Long, high, searching ball inside. That's a great looking ball, man. The runner off him was Moffat. Didn't spot him in time. Still McGoldrick turns and shoots and scores. And while the best ball would have been to Moffat, the runner coming through the centre, McGoldrick held his nerve, Porrick. A very important score for Kilo, puts them back a goal in front. Back. Darren Quinn goes back to Peter Hanley. Peter Hanley playing it across to Connor Smith. Connor Smith to Joe O'Brien. Can score. But will he score with this one? No, he won't, but it's a dangerous looking ball, and Micheál Hughes almost made a mess of it. Davy Barden was waiting underneath, but Hughes did enough, and Kilo come away with possession once more. Andrew Flynn. Andrew Flynn inside towards Kevin Burke. Burke back to Michael Flynn. Still Michael Flynn. He's got great potential, there's no question about it. And with a kick like that, is it a good one? Is it not only a good one, Porrick Davis? It's the score of the game from Michael Flynn. I said Clonkish needed it to happen now. It has happened. That could be the catalyst that sees them close Kilo in the closing minutes.
Ah, yes, an unbelievable score by any standards, and I think it's experience, and he forced Kilo to foul.
Matthew Carey, haven't seen much from Matthew in the second half, but this latest free could bring the score back to a 1-point game. Carey looks up, Carey kicks right over the black spot, back to a 1-point game. And with 3.5 minutes to go, Porrick Davis, you know, you could say replay, you could say we have 9 seconds of stoppage time played, and Matthew Carey kicks, change of free taker, back to Carey. Carey kicks it over, sides are level. See, Paddy Kiernan gets possession for Kilo around the middle of the field. Plays it inside. Ball is played forward. Won by Ronan McGoldrick. Mickey Quinn tries to get a runner going. Darren Moffat into Daniel Mimna, forced back outside. He's got a free shot if he wants it.
4 on the board as it stands. And this is 1-5.
1-5 for Mark Hughes. Kilo go back in front, the lead, 8 to 10 points. With pressure on the Kilo defence in the closing minutes, ball is played inside. Michael Flynn flicks it out with the hand, looked like a throw. Ball says play, referee says play on, kick is dropped short. Kilo have possession, away they come with it once more. Paddy Kiernan, still Paddy Kiernan takes a lot of steps, plays it to Daniel Mimna. Daniel Mimna for Kilo, into the centre. Kilo do well to turn defence into attack. Ball is played forward towards Ronan McGoldrick. It's now with the number 3, the full-back. That's Niall Farley. He can't get possession. Kilo try to win it back. Ball is on the ground. Referee Hugh O'Kane decides I'll throw this one up.
Ball and keeping it alive for Kilo, but his last chance saloon.
Ball is thrown up. Mickey Quinn tries to gather. Ball breaks loose. Clonkish have it again, trying to bury through. Referee says play on. Back with Ryan Moffat. He's been very good as well for Kilo this afternoon. Eventually the ball breaks for Colm Coyle. Plays an excellent ball inside towards the number 21, Paddy Moran. Saw lots of them in the first half, not so much in the second. That's a poor ball from Paddy Moran. Ronan Sweeney, brilliant challenge from Paddy Moran. Ball is with Kilo. Final whistle goes. Kilo are the county champions for 2023. Little bit of an anticlimax in the end. The referee brought it to its close exactly on 4 minutes.
Corner forward. He wears number 13, county footballer Daniel Mimna.
yourself in particular, you did a huge amount of work on the ball, all over the pitch, and you just about did enough and just about scraped across the line, as you said, third win by a narrow margin in the last 5 years.
Yeah, you'd look at the two teams and you'd say it's going to be a total football game, but just look at it for one reason or another, it just didn't turn out like that. But the likes of Hughesy there, coming up with the goods every game, he's just flying. Same today. And lads, to the defence, to be fair, we've kind of conceded a few goals in the last few games, and we said there we didn't want to concede one today, and look, that was one of our targets, we met it. And the rest is history. The lads up front did a great job too.
Yeah, but defensively, to keep Clongish to whatever it was, 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 points or whatever it was, with scorers like Michael Flynn and Matthew Carey popping them over for fun in the semi-final, etc., and in previous rounds, it was very important to mind the shop and let the rest happen out the field. And as you said, just about. But credit to Clongish, they're young, they're going to be around for years to come, and perhaps the likes of Carey and Flynn just didn't have the day today that they had in the semi-final.
Look, they will learn from that. They've won so many finals underage. It's not as if they're going to this is going to knock them, because they have plenty of years ahead of them, plenty of football, class footballers all over the park, and they have a lot more coming through. So I don't write them off. It was a scrappy enough game. We scored 1-8, 1-7, 1-8. Not a great score in ourselves, but we've tried to set up. We conceded a lot of goals early on in the group stages, and in the quarter final as well, conceded 3 goals. So we wanted to keep it tight there, and to be fair, the system worked very well there. And look, at great day for us and for our back line, I suppose.
Yeah. And listen, a late inclusion. Paddy Moran made a significant contribution in terms of the team goal. Colm Coyle will feel unlucky that he was left off, but Paddy Moran, another bright star of the future. Just like Clongish have some, so have Killow.
Yeah, look at. Colm obviously would feel hard done by, but the first message we said to him on Friday was that he's now a finisher. Like, we have starters, but we have finishers. Coyler came on, did a serious job there, and Ronan McGoldrick, Redzer came on, Shane Clark came on, like Kieran Donoghue, Cian Dooner, they've all come on, they've done their job. It doesn't matter if you start, if you finish, you're part of our squad, you're part of a strong panel, and no one should feel hard done by. And Coyler, to be fair to him, he kept his head up, he's part of the team, and he delivered when he came on.
And listen, finally, the last couple of years have belonged to Mullinachta and Colm Killow, now back on top. It's a 6th championship since 2012, 6 championships in 11 years, but the new management will have to take some of the credit, or perhaps a good chunk of the credit, for getting you back on top.
But massively. Look at we look at last few years, we've underperformed. We set out at the start of the year in February what we wanted to do, where we wanted to go, what our targets were, what went wrong in the last few years, and
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, now to our third in the series of our review of the Longford County Finals. Today we're having a look at the Senior Championship and Clongish versus Killow. Again, we have here with us, we have Eugene McCormack and we have Jimmy Connell. So we'll have a look, lads, and any comments or whatever on play. I don't know whether to bring up the volume there.
So we were talking about in the preview show, Eugene talking about Joe O'Brien and the way he comes out of the goals there early on. He's at it already,
Yeah. And look, creates this creates the score straight away. Great score. Darren Quinn, they're breaking up the field in that.
That's really what Clongish needed, wasn't it? To settle themselves into the match. First county final in a lot of years. To get that early good start, and they did. We got the first couple of scores, I think, on the board.
Yeah, and they'll probably, now that it only ended up, we know the scoreline now, they'll probably be disappointed that they didn't get more scores in that short period.
Yeah.
That early period.
Yeah, when they had a little bit of dominance there. They hit a lot of wides. I suppose to be disappointed with that. They hit a lot of wides that they normally would score.
Yeah. Yeah, and for Clongish, they were probably ranked as the outsiders in fairness. Even though everybody knew that they have quality footballers, but they just needed to keep that scoreboard ticking over the whole time, and that's probably why when they look back on it, they'll probably be a little bit disappointed at that.
He's brave by Mihal Hughes there
Does.
too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something that Clongish probably was a little bit disappointed in terms of just the turnovers that they given and that, especially around that third sector of the field and that, you know, and it ended up coming down, and as you can see, Mark Hughes converts a free based on Clongish. It's nearly a 2-point swing around.
Yeah, for there for the mistake there
Yeah.
to lose the ball and down.
Yeah.
But like if you give Kilo chances, they're going to punish him. You know, Mark Hughes is deadly there.
This is a fantastic score. It's a fantastic Daniel Minley.
And under pressure there.
Yeah, yeah,
Two men coming in from there.
yeah.
Huge crowd in Pearse Park, wasn't there?
Great atmosphere. This is a brilliant save. It's a great save. Joe's just gifted, isn't he? You know, whether it's a hurl or a football, you know.
What would you reckon that was a foot block?
Well, you know, he was probably from the distance he was shot, I would probably say, you know, he gave the referee the benefit of the doubt. And in fairness to Hugh O'Kane, it was his first county final, and I thought he did a reasonable.
No, I wouldn't have thought it was, but you see it sometimes where they're given as a foot block that type. But I thought that was a good save.
Yeah,
you know.
I know, look at it. His job is there to get something on it, and I think Joe just put his whole body on the line there, you know, and he did what he was supposed. What he's putting goals for is to keep the ball out, you know. So I wouldn't fault him that much on that. So.
And what's the foot block, Jim?
Well, you can't go, if they're kicking the ball, you can't go in with your foot or your leg to block.
I gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
But that ball was kicked onto his leg rather than him going with the foot to block.
He was spreading his body. To block. Yeah. Very good.
Just not running on full energy so far this afternoon to the minor championship this year.
It was typical championship fare, wasn't it? Like it was a very low score in first half.
Yeah. But you can see the numbers back that Clongish have back there. You know, there's a great score. Yeah. Cian Farley.
3 points in quick
Yeah.
succession.
It's probably unique, and I don't know, Eugene, if you know any other families where 4 brothers played on a senior championship final.
Yeah, I suppose you'd nearly have to go back to you know, the Clongish team when funny enough Tommy McCormick, Jimmy McCormick and what was Tommy, Jimmy and Terry, God rest them, and they played. That was a family, but to see 4, very unique. And
3 of my brothers would have played in '92. Bernard, Porrick and Don.
That's right. Yeah.
If I was any good, I would have been the 4th.
Yeah, could have made history there, Jimmy Steve. Yeah.
It was a great addition, like, you know, nearly a quarter of the team. Over a quarter of the team.
There's young Andrew Flynn, centre back. You know, brilliant.
It was a lovely ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Gordon, and I was actually surprised Chris Gordon was taken off.
Yeah.
I was surprised. He was after scoring 2 points, and don't get me wrong, the Brahan Kevin Burke, and we talked about Kevin Burke. There's such a difference again he made. Do you know what I mean?
He got a point, did he?
He create. I'm not sure whether he scored or not.
No, maybe it was the semi-final he got the point.
But he was creating so much and getting on so much ball. But Chris Gordon was actually coming in with 2 points, and he was a hard worker, and him left on along with Kevin Burke coming in, I felt would have caused more problems for Kilo. Do you know? But
who did they take off? No, they took off. Tony Brahan, one other sub, I think. Only 2 subs.
Peter Handley, midfield, and again Peter Handley made a big difference.
Yeah. He's a big,
you know,
big
strong man, but got on ball, and the game kind of suited him to a certain degree. And their 2 substitutes that they made, and it was only the 2. They definitely made a difference. Yeah, without a doubt, you know. Yeah. But it came down to such a tight game and small margins. The 3 points that Kilo got there in the second half, that was the widest it ever was.
That was it. 3 points ahead. Yeah.
And each time I give Clongish great credit, the way they came back in each
time. They never gave up. They never did. They hung in there.
Yeah.
You know, it nearly could have been a draw. You know.
It could have been. It could have been.
deflection. It's now with Paddy Moran outside of the
Yeah,
book.
Paddy Moran.
Yeah, and I predicted the last day I thought he'd start, and he did start. And this is what he does. This is what he does. He created the goal. Great goal chance. Now
He was just held where.
you know, and you're often wondering, is it a square ball? But if you look at Mark, his feet was outside.
Yeah, he waited there and he waited until the ball was played.
Young Paddy Morton made that goal.
Yeah.
You know, his speed and then his unselfishness
Yeah.
of crossing it over.
That's it, yeah.
You know,
But he was trying to catch it, didn't try to get the ball into the net, an open goal there and put it in. You know, there's nothing Joe O'Brien could have done there.
No.
You know.
In fairness to Mark Hughes had a good bit to do in that. He had to stretch at his foot. There's Chris Gordon again.
Yeah, that's a lovely score
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Two
left
scores
foot
were
there,
very
lovely
similar.
score.
Yeah, very similar. And I was a little bit surprised he was taken off.
I'm just looking at some of these players, you know, and when I see some of them kicking the ball, you know, it's like there's an artistry in it. I don't know what I was saying this in one of the earlier matches. And it's something I noticed with the women. There's a couple of women footballers, and when they kick the ball, it's like, you know, it's like a golf swing, or it's like something that you just know that everything is right about their body and the way they kick the ball. And just, you know, is there anything in that, or is it like, you know, some people will kick a ball and it's, you know, they kick a ball, but other people there's a bit of artistry to them, you know, that you don't know what I'm getting at.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're getting at, because when you go down to the back of our house and we have the field and the goalposts up there at the back of the house and that's where the kids would have grown up playing, the two girls I know, and playing their games, and girls kick the ball mostly girls kick it on the top of their foot, on the instep, so that where a fella usually kicks it, you know, coming around on the inside of his foot, you know, and that's the curl that you get there.
Yes.
And Mick Bohan, which was the manager of the All-Ireland winning Dublin ladies football team, he made a reference to this, exactly that. He was getting his Dublin girls to start kicking the ball more like the fellas are kicking it. And they have come to be All-Ireland champions again, you know, after maybe being away for 2 or 3 years at it.
Yeah.
And definitely when you get the girls kicking it, it's a little bit more accurate.
Yes.
So it is, and it's also the pace of the ball. Whoever you're kicking it to, it gives them an opportunity to receive the ball with a softer touch.
Yes. Yeah.
So it is, rather than it coming at speed and being able to control it. And
what I notice is that it is generally, you know, the look is with players who are good players. Do you know what I mean? That whatever the movement is, they're always the good players. You know, I'm not saying that the other players aren't, you know,
well, you see,
helping out.
You learn that skill or that style, you know, or that is definitely a skill, and you're learning that at schoolboy level and at underage level. That doesn't come at 18 and 19 years of age. It's like playing an instrument. The earlier you play an instrument, the more better you become at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like there's one thing I love to see is the ball is coming along, or let's say it's moving slowly on the ground, and the player just flicks it up with the toe. Yeah. I just love that. Because I don't know, from years ago, there's an awful lot of skill that used to be in the game years and years ago, which is not there, like soloing and all that sort of stuff. You know, maybe that's gone out of the modern game. I don't know, is it, or?
Well, the game is being played faster, so it is. So it's all about moving the ball rather than carrying the ball nowadays. Don't get me wrong, when you see good footballers able to carry the ball, it looks really, really well. But in terms of the chip up, it's a terrific skill, because the timing of that has to be perfect. The skill level, it's easier actually to do it on a wet pitch than on a dry pitch. So it is, because you're able to get your foot in underneath the ball to chip it up. But it's a terrific skill, fantastic skill. And as Jimmy said there, like, you know, that instead of being able to stop, bend down, pick up that ball, you're able to take it at speed. And all of a sudden 4 defenders are around you.
Yes.
Do you know
exactly,
what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's very entertaining anyway.
It's hugely entertaining.
But it's also a sign of a confident footballer that will do it. Like, it's alright doing it at training and do it in the backyard, but to go out on a county final day and have the confidence and the belief in yourself to do that, you know, for fear of it not working out for you.
Yeah.
But young lads now are so confident and they're so believe in their own ability so much that they'll take on, they'll have that goal. And it looks brilliant. But even when you talk about the spin on the ball there, Mick, like that point there from Chris Gordon, like he was out maybe 10 yards to the left of the post. If he had kicked it through the laces, it would have went straight, but he kicked it inside it and over the black spot, you know, swung it in, like, it was beautiful. You know, swung it in.
Yeah.
That's right over the black spot.
Yeah, fantastic score. Fantastic score.
Another man with the potential to lift that trophy. Back to Andrew Flynn once more.
You know, a young fella, just, you know, look at that for a pass. You know, this was a controversial. This was the.
No, I think the referee was right.
Yeah, it was on the.
It was on the upper part of the chest. It wasn't.
He was lucky now that
Yeah.
you know.
But the ref was in the right.
He was right beside it.
Yeah, right beside it.
He was right beside it.
Yeah, because I know Benny called it there. He thought it was quite dangerous. But looking at it in the slow motion, you can see it was an upper body rather than the face or the neck.
Yeah.
It's amazing Kilo like winning again another county. The last time Kilo lost the county final was in 1987. Haven't lost the county final since 1987.
I didn't know that.
Well, I was talking to Declan Rowland the other day and I was just asking him how's the celebration, and he was just commenting on it that they lost by a point yard in 1987 and have competed in 9 finals since then and have won all 9.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You know, and to think, like, you know, they have won what, 6 in the, you know,
in the last 11 years.
Yeah.
Well, so there's 4. So Daniel Mimmin and Mickey Quinn. Who else did he say? Mentioned the 4 lads that have 6 medals.
Some of the McGoldricks maybe.
Could have been. Jesse told me and I can't remember who the 4 were. I don't want to say it now because I'm not sure, you know.
Yeah.
Would Mark Hughes have 4 or 6?
He could have, because Mark was a younger age player. There's Paddy Moran again, a great footballer.
Yeah, and that lovely floated ball.
Lovely strike of the ball. Look at that.
Like a forward loves them sort of balls coming in, quality ball like that.
Yeah.
There's no goal just coming on as a sub, like you get one's point.
And we talked about him prior to this. We were saying the impact he was having coming on in games. And again, they win it by a point, and he comes on and, you know, scores a point. You know, so the margins are so small. You know. There's Joe. This is. Oh no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Yeah.
Get up high enough.
I'm not sure whether this is near the end. Is it, lads? No.
Yes, it's close enough. Yeah.
You know, we're talking there about points.
Sorry, Mick. This is some score by Michael Flynn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's the best score of the game.
Yeah.
That's the
and a vital stage of the game that they needed a score then to lift them and try and get them back into the game.
Yeah. And again, 18 years of age. Yeah. And if you look at the way he striked that ball again, that is on the outside of the foot.
Exactly,
you know, and it's a fantastic score. So you know, his balance is terrific.
Now, Matthew Carey here, lads. You know, we're talking about a point difference and all that sort of stuff. Matthew certainly wasn't playing at his best. And I was talking to one of the Clongish camp, and they were saying, I think he was saying anyway, that he probably, I don't know whether he should have been even playing on the day, you know? Yeah. Did you sense that, or...?
Well, I did know that Kilo were going to do a marking job on him, because the majority of the Clongish scores was coming from Matthew Carey prior to that. So in the Morton Darren Carey in the intermediate, they were always going to target the score getter.
Yes.
And in fairness, Matthew was only 18 years of age, and it's a huge task for the lads in that. Do you know what I mean? So,
yes.
But look at he still contributed great to the game.
But 5 points. I was at the minor final. And at the end of the match, I wasn't filming it now for cover, but I was doing bits and pieces. And Matthew was being given attention at the side of the goals, at the very end of the final. And he was out, you know, he was lying down, and then he got up and I was hobbling over. And I just said to myself, because that's why I continued filming, I wonder will this have any consequence? And I think it did have a consequence, because he didn't have as good a game possibly as
Yeah, well, I suppose any injury will always hamper you a little bit, you know what I mean? And in fairness, there he is working back there now. You know,
he's got a free out there and down the ball.
And it's not for the want of, and just knowing Matthew, he's very determined and he's mad to play football, and here he is again just winning that dirty and hard ball, and Sandro Flynn and that, so but you can see the small little margins of a ball hopping left and right, and you know, you couldn't fault Dungish in terms of the ref and work with, you know.
But again, delayed on the ball, just a little bit of the experience, or just
and then it's over, you know. You know, it's such a tight game.
Devastated. But I know they're devastated losing a county final, but at the start of the year, if you told Liam Belton they were going to compete in a county final,
he'd have been happy.
He would have been quite happy with it. Like, they should be very happy with their year.
Liam seems very determined, very focused. Like, I'm not saying managers aren't, but I know Liam, I bet him, you know, I filmed for him and all that sort of, but he seems, you know, very sort of determined to do something with this team, I presume.
Well, go ahead, Jimmy. But he has the material there now, you know, and but many teams had material before and it didn't work out that way, and it doesn't always work out that way, so you have to get the blend right, you know.
Yeah, and then, you know, with any team, it's only a short period.
Yes.
It's a very short period, and, you know, I'd say Liam sees that. Do you know what I mean? That it's a short period, regardless of the ages and stuff like that, because age is one thing, but where young fellas are going to get jobs, and where they're going to, are they going to emigrate, are they going to, you know, to have college studies and stuff like that. So everything brings its own meaning, you know, to their lives and that. So it's not all about football. So, but look, I just, based on what you see down in Clongish and what's happening there with the underage structure and that, it'd be very difficult to say, Jimmy, that it wouldn't happen for them. You know, it would be very difficult. I think it will happen. And
especially when they've bled 6 of them into the senior panel already, 6 of that minor team already, like 4 starters on it as well, so they're already bringing them in and feeding them in there, you know.
Yeah, and they have a conveyor belt coming behind that again, and you know, more quality footballers coming behind that. But it does take time, it does take a little time, and they're lovely, stylish footballers, there's no doubt about it, but you have to give great credit to Kilo as well.
Absolutely.
You know, they're a fantastic club. Fantastic club.
And you look at that man there that Benny's in, Daniel Memna, like 3 man of the matches. You know, Desi Barry's only one that ever did that before. You know, in Longford. 3 man of the match awards.
So Eugene, or Jimmy rather, who would you pick out then on the Clongish team as outstanding? Had an outstanding performance like in the final?
I don't think there was any standout player for Clongish in the final, to be honest with you. And I suppose some of them, and I know, I'm not picking up Matthew Carey or that, but he was very well marked, very well matched. He did score 5 points, 4 of them were from frees, you know. But Kilo just got the matchups right, I think, on the day, and didn't allow that free-flowing football that Clongish need to play in order to get a run on them, you know. So where there were very steady performances from them, I wouldn't pick out. Like Jack Duggan was very well managed, you know. He didn't really get a foothold on the game. Young Matthew Flynn as well. Young Michael Flynn, for that point he scored, you know, you have to pick out that lovely point at a stage in the game where, you know, Kilo seemed to be gone, but they came back at it. But no standout performances, but everybody gave everything they could give, you know, and they should be very proud of their performance there, you know. But there was no one man that I would say was better than the rest.
Eugene, your views then on Kilo, did you think there was any exceptional standout player?
Well, of course, Daniel got man of the match, and you know, he's a real workaholic sort of footballer. He's the type of footballer that you'd love on your team. You know, he just gives you absolutely everything, whether he's playing poorly or playing well. But he put in a massive shift. But the Farley's put in the Keane Farley, I thought was great. Thought he was great. Paddy Morden, where he mightn't have stood out as much as what we know he's capable of, but he's again very, very young. But he's dynamic from what he does, and he only did 1 or 2 dynamic things, and it resulted in 1-1. You know, and he created that goal out of nothing, and that's why I thought he was going to be in the team, because he's the type of player that you can have all your A, B's, and C's put in place, but he's factor X, so he is, and he's just different. And when you come down and you analyse the game and the scoreline and you say, what was the win of it? At the end of the day, it was the goal, it was the difference that separated the teams. And he just had that dynamic type of style of play in terms of going at that corner hard, crossing the ball over, and for Mark Hughes to step in. And of course, Mark Hughes scored 1-5, was it 1-5, I think?
1-5, yeah.
You know, Mark, and you know, Mark is a great lad. And I thought Michael Hughes, his brother, in goals, I thought his kickouts were terrific. I thought they were terrific. And but look at all over the field. Mickey tried hard. You know, a couple of mistakes, very unusual for Mickey. Do you know what I mean? He gave away a few balls. But Ryan Moffat and a couple of lads there put in a huge shift. And overall, Kilo were probably more solid all over the pitch, but that comes from experience.
I think you have to mention the Luke Dempsey effect with them as well. You know, he freshened them up this year. You know, they would have been disappointed not to have got the county finals in the 2 previous years. You know, and I suppose Luke gave them that. You know, just a freshness. And Daniel mentioned Busty Coy. You know, he says he had a huge influence with them this year, training them. You know, pushing them and getting them fit and getting them right. And then Luke with his new tactics, you know, I think he had a big influence. And I'd imagine going forward into Leinster, Lomans won't like meeting Kilo.
No, they won't. And you mentioned Busty Coy there, and would know Steve there from, because he had trained Carrick Edmond, and I know from the feedback that came back from the players in Carrick Edmond, great time for him, great time for him. And Luke was very lucky to have a fella like him with his experience and the knowledge of all the players down in Kilo. They were he was very lucky to have a fella of Busty, as we all call him. You know, his experience and stuff like that. But then look at Luke has, you know, a magic touch. He goes round there. You know, he's won it with Lomans. He's won it with Moorfield. You know, he has that pedigree. And you know, I worked with Luke back in 2004 and 2005 up to 2009. So I know Luke well. So it was a great weekend for both of us. You know, so we're just keeping us young as such, you know.
Absolutely. Well, that's the end of another season. Overall, lads, happy with the season? Was it an average season, better than many, or would you?
I think it was, and it was great to see new team coming through into a county final. You know, a lot of disappointing. I thought. My own club, Mostram, were disappointing. I thought Ballymahan were disappointing. Villar, Carrick Edmond, disappointing in them. You know, they didn't perform at all really this year. They didn't live up to expectations, I think, you know. But it is tough. It's tough.
But like as Eugene was saying earlier, for Abilara, could it have been a touch of a ball or just one game, like, sort of sent them down?
It was a touch of a ball for Clongish as well. Like,
yes,
you know, if they didn't beat Granard, they might have got to a quarter final. But that's when teams have to step up, and they stepped up and they did what they had to do. You know, Granard had a great early on in the round robin. They had a great, you know, and finished second in the group, probably over, but then they disappointed in the quarter final. You know, they really did.
I say the one club that would be really, really hurting and disappointed, I say, is Dramard. Dramard would probably have looked at you know, close to winning a county title. We all know Frankie missed the free, you know, near the end to get the draw and that. Do you know what I mean? And Dramard, and I know Sean Hagan down there, and Sean would be very determined to make sure that his club was, you know, going to get some silverware and that. You know what I mean? And I think Dramard will be the team that would be really, really hurting, because they have a few quality players. Don't get me wrong, they haven't the full outfit in terms of, you know, every sector being nailed down and that. You know what I mean? But that's ongoing. But they have some quality players. Young Matt Duffy getting injured, you know, and going off and now by all accounts he's going to Australia, and we wish him the best of luck on that. But the thing about it is, he'd be a huge loss to them. Do you know what I mean? But you're right. You're right about the other clubs in terms of Carrick Edmond, you know, Edgestown. They will be disappointed. Absolutely. They will be disappointed, and you know, because for Longford football to progress, them clubs there need to be pushing really, really strong and saying at some stage they've got to be getting to. And I know from your own club there, if you get into quarterfinals and possibly semi-finals, people might think that's harsh down by, but every fella that's out there will know that Carrick Edmond is very hard to play against. You know, I know Titan likes playing against them, but they have to step up along with the Edgetowns, you know, and then you know Granard is another club there that's really strong. Longford Slashers push Kilo to the limit. You know, they were the one team, and again Liam Keenan has gone there now, and Tommy Donoghue is in there, so they have a change of the guards in that regard. And Slashers are a town team that have you know
lots
a lot
of young players.
Exactly. Yeah. So they will should be looking to see can they push on. They should be disappointed a little bit as well, you know. So,
but well, I think a lot of people are saying that there are 10 clubs in the senior championship in Longford is too many, and it should be 8. I get a general feeling that there's just too many clubs in it. That you know, that 8 is more competitive. That 10 is too many. You know, and then if you drop 2 down into an intermediate championship, well, then it's a better championship intermediate. Not that it wasn't a competitive championship, but it prepares you better. You're better fit if you win the intermediate to go up, because like Ballyman won intermediate last year, dropped down. Killasheed the year before, dropped down straight away again. I hope it doesn't happen again, yeah.
Yes.
but it is very difficult to stay up there. You know.
It is because you are coming up against the cream of the crop, the crop there. You know, in terms of most of your county players come nearly from your senior teams. Do you know what I mean? So they're rubbing shoulders with them, and they're rubbing the shoulders with them very, very quickly. They're getting a very short period of time over a winter time to do their gym work and stuff like that and prepare for senior football, which they haven't tasted in a while. Some clubs, if you take Keena, haven't tasted that, you know, in 40 years. So what you're looking at is that step. Do you know what I mean? What the right format for the championship? It's a difficult one to know. So it is. But I think it's up to the clubs that we're after mentioning in Edgestown and Carrick-Keppel. I think it's for them to step up to the mark rather for other clubs to come down. And I think that gives us a higher standard. We're playing Meath in the first round of the Leinster Championship this year, and the winners are playing Dublin. Do you know what I mean? And so we want to be getting county players from a raft of clubs all over the county, not maybe just pinpointing to your county finals or something like that, and then giving it a real competition. Very good.
Very good. Well, great. That's very good, lads. Thanks very much for doing the business for us today, and we'll meet you again for the LGFA finals shortly. Thanks very much.